This is the solution video for numbers 31 through 34, aka the last solution video for this test review. So for 31 and 34, we will be using the reciprocal power to get rid of problems, and for 32 and 33, we were going to be changing the bases so we can set the exponents equal. So if we look at number 31, we have to first identify what is being taken to the power, and then we have to get rid of everything else. So only the x is being taken to the third power. So that means the -3 and the 5 have to move. So we'll start just like we would a regular equation by doing addition/subtraction. Again, a lot of you are probably going to want to take the power now, but remember, the 5 is not being taken to the power, so we do have to get rid of it. We have to isolate what is being taken to the power. So when we do that, we get x to the 2/3, which is exactly what we wanted, equals 36, is 180 divided by 5. Now we can do the reciprocal power. So the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. But we have to be really careful because remember, when we get an even number in the denominator, we have to think about plus or minus. It only happens when you take the reciprocal power and there's an even number in the denominator. So on the left side of this equation, we get just x, which is great. On the right side, we have 36 to the 3/2, so let's change that to its radical equivalent. Again, it's got to be plus or minus because of that weird rule about the even denominator, and then it's a square root because 2 is in the denominator of 36, then to the third power. So that gives us a final answer of plus or minus 216. The square root of 36 is 6, and then we do 6 to the third power. I'm going to do number 34 next, actually, because it's the same type of problem. So if we isolate what is being taken to the power, all of this is being taken to the power, so we don't have to do any steps. We can do the reciprocal power right away. The reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2 is 2/3. So we take the 2/3 power of both sides. We do not have to do that weird rule because 3 is an odd number. So we only do the positive. So cancels out the 3/2 power. We get just 2x minus 1 on the left. And then the denominator is 3, so it's the cube root of 27 squared. So when we simplify that, the cube root of 27 is 3, 3 to the second power is 9. And then it's just your regular two-step equation from here. Add 1 to both sides. And then divide both sides by 2. We get a solution of x is equal to 5. And if you check it to make sure it's not extraneous, it does work. I'm not going to show that step, but when you check it back in, it works. Now we'll look at number 32. So this looks a little confusing. One thing I like to write in is 2 to the first power. So I know that I'm going to need to change my base on the left side. I need to rewrite 8 as a base of 2. So 2 to what power is 8? The third power. And then on the right, I'm going to continue to write 2 to the first. So before I can set my exponents equal, I'm going to do my power to a power rule, which says multiply. So I get 2 to the -15x equals 2 to the first. Now that I have the same base, I can drop them and set my exponents equal. So -15x is equal to 1, and then my last step is to just divide both sides by -15. So I get x is equal to -1 over 15. Number 33 is a little crazy because we have 1/10, but we have to think about what does that actually mean. If I write 1 to the 10 to the first power, that might make it a little more obvious, but again, anytime we see a 1 in the numerator, something in the denominator, we can rewrite it using negative exponents. So 1/10 is actually 10 to the -first power. And then again, we need to keep that x on the outside. So that means if we rewrite 1/10 with a base 10, we have to write 100 with a base 10. So that means it's going to be 10 to the second power. And again, x plus 3 needs to stay on the outside. So now that we have the same base, we're going to be able to set our exponents equal, but first we have to do our power to a power rule and multiply our exponents. So on the left side we have 10 to the -x, and on the right side we have 10 we have to be very careful because it's 2 times x plus 3, so we have to distribute 10 to the 2x plus 6. Now that we have the same base and we simplified our exponents, we can drop our bases and set the exponents equal to each other. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. I'm going to work my way over here, running out of room. So negative x minus 2x is negative 3x, and then I have a positive 6 on the right. Final step, divide both sides by negative 3, and we get an x value of negative 2. Final answer. Alright, that will conclude the videos for this review. Again, mastery will not be a video because you guys are expected to know that and keep up with that. Use your mastery study guides to check your answers. I hope you found these videos helpful.